This time I'm going to use completing the square to solve a quadratic that has complex solutions. And here I have 0 equals x squared minus 2x plus 3. To complete the square, what I'll first do is get this 3 over to the other side of the equation. And if you ever change sides of the equal sign, you have to change signs. So I'm left with 3, negative 3 equals x squared minus 2x. Now I will take the b, and to complete the square or create a perfect square trinomial, I'll take the b and I'll half it and get negative 1. And then I take the negative 1 and I square that and end up with a positive 1. So to create a perfect square trinomial, I have to add 1 to this side of the equation. And if I add 1 to this side of the equation, I have to add 1 to this side of the equation. All right, so 1 minus 3 is negative 2 equals, and this being a perfect square trinomial, the shortcut for that was to take the square root of x squared, which is x, the square root of 1, which is 1, and then look here to this sign of this b, so it will be negative, and then that's the square. If you need to go back to Algebra 1 for completing the squares to see those, how I do that, again, be reminded of that, go back and look for those. All right, so here, to get rid of the square so I can get x alone, I will take the square root of both problems. And the square cancels the square root out, and x minus 1 is freed from the radical sign. And I have a positive or negative square root of negative 2. That cannot be a real solution if there's a negative up under a radical sign, as long as the index is even. So I'm going to change this to a positive or negative square root of negative 1 times square root of 2. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. And we know that I equals the square root of negative 1. Okay, so I will replace the negative square root of negative 1 with I root 2 equals x minus 1. Okay, to get this x alone now, I will add 1 to both sides. And now I have 1 plus or minus I root 2 equals x. So my two solutions are 1 plus I root 2 and 1 minus I root 2.